first place we stayed was a woman, Mercy's guest house. And I don't know, let's talk about Mercy's guest house.
Let me just say, fried plantains, delicious. And they're very caring people. They do take care of every single bit part of our, like, if we ask anything, they will prepare in a heartbeat. And they're very kind people. I still keep in touch with some of the workers there. They Facebook me and whatnot. And it's really great. They care a lot. And it was like having another mother cooking every good food for us. And pineapple was white.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That was culture shock for me. Those things like I was not expecting, because I went there with complete open mind. I like to go to other countries and learn their cultures, learn their traditions. If I have a concept of something, I can't do that as well. So I went there with, like I tried to have no idea of idea of country or community. And there's white pineapple. And I was just like, white pineapple? Isn't it yellow? And that was the most culture shock I got, I think.
Not too bad.
Green oranges.
No.
Yeah, green oranges too.
This picture, because this is when we first got into our crowd, within the first 3 days. And I remember for me it was to see the traffic was what? Where are the stoplights? Wait, why are we so I would fall asleep on the bus and then wake up and it'd be dark and we'd be in the same spot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on? But I don't know. It was a good experience because I got to just see so many things out the window. It's once it got dark, it seemed like so many more people came out and people walking between the cars and sell anything that you could possibly think of. So just looking out the window was an experience of its own.
I think even just sitting on that bus, because we did it too,
Mm-hmm.
you almost learn the most sitting on that bus and observing just out the windows, because you just see so much. And you're just I remember being so tired wanting to take a nap, but I don't want to miss what we're driving by.
Yes.
Or even when we had to take Chocho's, this somewhere we would try to get close to the window just so we could see what we're going by, see what we're seeing.
Linda, I have to say goodbye, but I would just like to tell these fabulous world travelers how much I admire you. And
Thank you.
how beautiful your reports have been about your experience. And Jessica, I remember having you in my class, and I'm so pleased to hear what you did as an intern in Ghana. And
Thank you, Marsha.
I'm very impressed and grateful to Joyce and Al, too. And of
I
course,
wanted you to say something about your teaching experiences, because you
Yes,
had
certainly.
a lot of, I know you're coming to that, but I don't know if Marsha's got to rush out, but
I've
We
made a
could skip
commitment
to
to
it,
be
or-
someplace at 5:30, but I'd be glad to hear a little bit.
yeah, just a
about
couple of things about the schools and your teaching,
right
and
along.
that Deborah and I know they were so inventive. I don't want to say
gosh.
anything. I want them to just talk about it.
All right, so we'll talk about law school first.
Ghana and differences.
Yeah.
Okay, so so when we first started teaching in Ghana, first we went to a bunch of just random schools and orphanages just to stop by, just so that our presence could be felt by everyone, So that was a good experience, even to just, because I was what's going on? We're just all right, time to jump back on the bus, and I'm wait, we just got here. But it was the spirit of the people kept me energized. The first school we went to, I just remember the bus is pulling up, and then you just hear a crowd of people screaming. Then kids are running from every direction. I'm just looking out the window is this for us? What's going on? It was just overwhelming. In the community all came together just to watch us teach this one classroom. Everyone crowded around, wanted to participate. I remember reading a book about colors, and even the parents were red, they wanted to jump in,
Yes.
and it was so collective, and I don't know, it's a good feeling.
I'll bet.
For me, I feel their interest in, again, whole family, the mothers and, some grandma, I feel even came along to see us. And personally, I felt as though they valued education a lot more, different way. I talked to the students when I was at Basco School. I had a certain classroom, and it was much older kids. So I brought a lot of books. I let them choose what they want to hear of the day, and we talked about Sioux the dinosaur. And I tried to teach about continental drift theory and all these things because they spoke English. They wanted to know something about religion or science or math. So I went with the science. I just took the course beforehand, so I had knowledge about it. And it was amazing to see how engaged they were. And they were willing to participate, but they were trying to see what I want to tell them first. They were not coming out to be like, I want to learn this. Instead, they're like, what would you like to teach me, madame? And I was just like, just tell me what you want to learn. What do you want to be in the future? And a lot of kids said, I want to get education and be a leader so that I can support people. Or one of the kids wrote president and it spelled president. So it was like kind of cute. And a lot of girls talked about religion and being, you know, like close with religion. Or one of the kids said priest. It was very interesting to see the dynamics of their future like goals and also how much they valued education. They were willing. One thing you would ask, what do you want? I want education. The books I brought were like for younger kids. They still appreciated it a lot more than any of the kids here could appreciate. I came back to school here with new perspective on the studies. I wanted to learn a lot more about diversity. I wanted to learn about the cultures and discrimination, oppression, everything possible to help those kids get what they want, education. And I get that for just being who I am. And it's such a differences that I saw in that specific moment. I was just blown away by it because who'd appreciate, who to say I want education when they get, you know, certain amount of food only a day and all these things. They just said education. And that was just marvelous. I was amazed.
That was so fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Have a great day.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so I remember my first day teaching at Bosco School and Orphanage, and it wasn't like a full-out class because I think we did something right before, but got into my classroom and I'm like, hi everyone, and I'm all excited, and they're excited to see me, and I think I read a book or did something, and then I had all this free time because I wasn't sure like what age group I was going to have and what to plan before, so I didn't want to like start unpacking all the stuff on the first day. So I'm like, does anyone have any questions about anything? And they're all like, and I'm like, anybody have any questions? The teacher's like, come on, like everyone was just running outside and screaming like, you have a question. And everyone's silent, and I'm like getting nervous, like, what do I do? Nobody has a question. And then I see one hand go up, and I'm like, yeah, like, what's your question? How did the Titanic sink? Oh my goodness. And then so I'm like, luckily someone was there to like help me answer the question. So I was like, I don't know. And then they're like, you know, that it hit the iceberg and whatever. And then so I'm like, okay, next question. Someone raised their hand. I'm like, oh yes, another question. Why was the captain not paying attention? It's like tough. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then someone raises their hand. Who's the Prime Minister of the U.S.? And then it took me a second. I was like, we don't have a Prime Minister. And then I was like, our president is Barack Obama. And they're like, wait, but who's the vice president? And I'm like, oh, I have to come back with a good plan tomorrow. These kids are smart. Like, I had no idea what to plan, but they were about to stump me. So I was like, oh man. But I just remember like just being like overwhelmed and just feeling like, oh, I don't know what's next. And they asked some good questions, and I was like, oh, I need to study before tomorrow. Like, what?